Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
So, hello student. So, we are at module 13 ISWM and SWM rules. So, in the previous lecture I talked about integrated solid waste management plan strategy and how to prepare, and also please remember the hierarchy, that was the important slide, was starting from reduce, waste reduction, reuse, recycle, composting, waste to energy, and least preferable is a landfilling one. So, here today I will talk about municipal solid waste management rule. Now, see why I keep this lecture at the end, because is not end, I think we will have one more module after this, but after discussion of all functional elements. Now, you people are clearly understood what is the primary collection, secondary collection, followed by transport, treatment in the both way, like chemical treatment, biological treatment. You completely understood, and also you are well aware about the what kind of waste will go for recycling, what kind of waste will go for waste to energy or for biological treatment, and what kind of product will get produced so easily, and also you have properly understood about what is the benefit of decentralized treatment processes, especially with the wet waste, and also the landfilling, that issue also you properly understood, and how difficult to maintain the sanitary landfills facility. And now, because this rule especially I am going to discuss where the duties of all ministries, or what different kind of government ministries are involved to finalize the role, what kind of duty for the ministries as well as for generator, and for ULB or municipal corporations, they will have particular duties that has been notified in the particular rule, which today we are going to discuss. Okay. So, that you will completely aware about the what is the municipal solid waste management system. Based on that, you can easily relate the duties of different stakeholders. So, this is what, when I am showing the rule, you will find this gadget normally for any rule, and these normally rules are coming from the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, because this ministry is specially finalizing the rules, but the implementation by the other ministries or other government bodies. Okay. And not only the solid waste management, because this course is for solid waste management, municipal solid waste management. So, I am only going to discuss about solid waste management rule 2016. And there are number of rules, especially which is related to solid waste itself, which I had discussed in one special module, like biological waste, biomedical waste, e-waste, C&D waste, the different rules are there. Okay. So, municipal solid waste management is a majorly, when you talk about is a municipal service. Normally we talk what kind of service is a municipal service and delivered by the ULBs or any municipal corporation, and they are the responsible for safe and healthy environment for city. Therefore, preparation, implementation of strategy and detail about solid waste management plan is essential. Okay. So, when I say the MSW, is normally household waste, street vendor waste, residential waste, these are the waste you already know about. This is the especially the maximum concentration of the waste is coming from these sources. Now, I think before going through the rule, we need to know what are the benchmark for solid waste management. So, based on the benchmark, we'll ask the implementing agency to follow the such benchmarks. So, the benchmarks are given, I think that is given in the manual, like household level coverage of MSW service. So, as percentage of household, I think 100% should be covered. Efficiency of collection should be 100%. Extent of MSW segregation, that should be also 100%. The extent of recovery, that is 80% itself is good, because why it not 100%, because 100% waste is not been able to recover, but at least the 80% means, see now I think this, remember this 80% recovery should be there, maximum can go, means only the 20% should go to the landfill site or sanitary landfill. That is the very important benchmark has been given in the solid waste management rule. Scientific disposal should be 100%, means whatever the remain, that 20% should be scientifically disposal. So, you can't have the simple dump site, finding some location and you are just disposing the waste without having the scientific collection of leachate or gas and followed by their treatment. And efficiency of customer complaint 80%, extent of cost recovery for MSW service, this is also the important point. Extent of cost recovery should be 100%, means again the same thought is that whatever the technology you are proposing, for running those technology you will be required 100% recovery should be come out from that, means fund wise also. And the efficiency of collection MSW charge is 90%. So, this is also is given that, because fund is always required for operation maintenance. So, why not to charge from the generators, like household people, commercial facilities, you charge properly, and the efficiency should go up to, or maximum can go up to 90%. Now, the union, this Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, that notified the solid waste management rule 2016, replacing our rule was earlier was 2000, that is almost 16 year is over. So, what are the authorized Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change? These are the ministries, different ministries are responsible for overall monitoring the implementation of the rule in the country. So, it is not only the solid waste management rule, but whatever rule is coming from the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, these all ministries are responsible. So, like Ministry of Urban Development, Ministry of Rural Development, Ministry of Chemical Fertilizer, likewise even the Central Pollution Control Board, even the state pollution control boards, they are responsible, or urban local bodies are responsible. Okay. And now, what are the duties? This is regarding the solid waste management rule. What is the duty for Ministry of Urban Development? As I was also talking in the previous lecture, that the secretary of the State Urban Development Department is a major responsible person for preparation of the solid waste management strategies for the entire city, either city or state. So, this ministry are coordinating with state government and union territory administrations, and they formulate the national policies or strategy. So, national policies and strategy for solid waste management, including the policies on waste to energy. So, this is the major duty of the urban development, which will prepare the strategy. Now, next is the duties of Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizer. Now, why this ministry is responsible here? Because this ministry is looking after the chemical fertilizer or whatever the biofertilizers is getting produced in the country. So, this ensure the promotion of co-marketing or compost with the chemical fertilizer in the ratio of 3 to 4 bags to 4 to 7 bags by the fertilizer companies. So, see this is one of very important point here. So, already in India huge amount of chemical fertilizers are available. So, this ministry will promote to mix this compost whatever is producing from the city area in the ratio of 3 to 4 bags to 6 to 7 bags of the chemical fertilizer. Now, the duties of Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India. This is also this ministry will promote the all farmers through the utilization of compost in the farmland, okay, or set up the laboratory of test quality of compost produced from the local authority. This ministry is and is responsible for to set up the laboratories also in India. There are some laboratories are available where we can easily check the compost. And this is the duties of Ministry of Power. Ministry of Power. So, why is power? Because the waste to energy plants also has to be checked time to time. So, this ministry will see that the compulsory purchase power generated from the waste to energy plants by distribution company. So, in India there are a number of companies are working for distributions of energy or electricity or power to the residential and industrial areas or commercial areas. So, they will make it compulsory wherever the waste to energy plant is available. So, whatever energy they are producing, they will promote the use of that particular energy. As Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Source. So, obviously, this ministry, as the name understands, is a new and renewable energy. So, they will facilitate the infrastructure of waste to energy plant, even biomethanation plant or anaerobic digestion plants, they will facilitate. Even they will provide the appropriate subsidy or incentives for such waste to energy plant. So, please remember that when anyone is sharing that waste to energy, do not just understand is a incineration plant. This waste to energy could be biomethanation plants also. Now, these were the duties of the different ministries. Now, where and who? I think who will be the applicants or area of applications of the rule. So, where this rule will be applicable, like in the ULB, census towns or industrial township. So, in this one almost all cities like class 1, class 2, class 3, all districts, talukas, everything will get cover or even all census towns will be get covered here. The areas under Indian Railway, port, harbour, airports. Remember that this rule also is applicable at Indian Railway, port, and recently under Swachh Bharat mission has started in the Indian Railway also. Railway also they started the Swachh Bharat mission. Central and state owned organizations, defense establishments. So, all kind of government institutions, place of pilgrims, religious, historical importance. This rule also is applicable in these locations, and every domestic, institutional, commercial and any non-residential solid waste generation situated in the area or in the city. So, almost all locations this rule is applicable. Now, who are the waste generators? Are every household, street vendors, hotel restaurants, event organizers, market associations, residents welfare associations, or some gated community also will be there. So, now for household level, what is the duty of generators? So, this is the very important slide. You can see that. So, what is the duties are given? Shall these household shall segregate and store the waste generated by them in 3 separate streams, namely biodegradable, non-biodegradable and domestic hazardous waste in suitable bin and hand over segregated waste to the authorized waste collectors. So, now here you see that this biodegradable means wet waste and non-biodegradable means dry waste, and domestic hazardous waste, that is a special waste which should not be mixed into the other dustbins, that has to be handovers. First it has to be stored into the suitable bins and hand over segregate waste to the collection crew. And these are the two different these biodegradable, non-biodegradable, and also these sanitary pad. This is a household hazardous waste. Suppose there is not other that normally the yellow dustbins are getting used for household hazardous waste. If that facility is not available, what you can do? You can wrap properly this waste and you can put it into the dry waste dustbin itself, but inform to the primary collection crew also okay, this is the special hazardous waste. And even the small e-waste, that also has to be wrapped properly, and finally this what this collection crew will do. So, he will have another facility to pick up this kind of waste. Normally this e-waste is also getting generated in the household area, or suppose that particular city have some drop off centers available nearby. So, household people can drop and drop the waste into that particular facility, and any corporation can put up one law that any household should not be drop the waste into such dustbin. Also the duties of waste generator, like shall store horticulture waste, garden waste generated from his premises separately and dispose of as per the direction of local authority. Okay. And this should not be what we should not be follow like this. You are disposing the waste, all horticulture waste, your or garden waste, you will take it and put it into some other location. This should not be. And also shall pay user fee finalized by the local authority. This user fee is normally starting from 30 rupees per month, is not a day, per month. Only 30 rupees means 1 rupee per day is starting, and I think this is in the class 2 cities, but in class 1 cities like in the metro cities, this fees is up to 200 or 250 also somewhere in per month. And this is important also because now this rule specially says that is a service. Solid waste management collection is a service. So, obviously, the households are paying for the other services like electricity, we are paying, water service, we are paying, whatever services are giving, we are paying for that. So, obviously, the solid waste collection is a one kind of service. So, need to be pay for that. And shall store separately construction and demolition waste as and when generated and disposed of as per the construction and demolition waste. You know that is already discussed in one of the lecture. So, now the duties of event organizers. So, this was the waste generator, mostly is a household people. Now, is a event organizer level. Now, here is specially is written like this: no person shall organize an event or gathering of more than 100 persons at any unlicensed place without intimating the local authority at least 3 working days in advance, okay, and shall ensure segregation of waste at source and handing over to the local authority. So, remember that any event you are organizing, even the birthday of your kid, also if the 100 persons are there, the attendees. So, you need to inform to the or need to be in the proper license location. At household also, if you are organizing, I think you need not to have license for that, but if you have space, but inform to the local authorities, inform that whatever waste will getting generated, you will segregate, and whatever the authority will tell that the for collection of waste, you will give it to that waste, and even the extra amount of fee will be required, you have to pay for that. Now, the street vendor level, every street vendor shall keep suitable container for storage of waste generated during the course of his activity, such as food waste, disposable plates, cups, cans, wrappers, whatever leftover things, shall deposit such waste at waste storage depot notified by the local authority. So, even the street vendors after Swachh Bharat mission, the number of street vendors also is putting one particular dustbin with them. So, otherwise I think there is a huge amount of disposable plates, cups are getting generated in such locations. So, you can see here. So, this it should not be like this. Okay. There should be a dustbin should be available. Now, the duties and responsibility of local authorities or village panchayat or any census towns. What is the responsibility of these bodies? Like local authority, panchayat shall prepare a solid waste management plan as per the state policy within 6 months. So, suppose I think some policy has been come up or modified policy, based on that prepare a plan within 6 months, make a application for grant of authorization of setting up waste processing, treatment, disposal facility if the volume of waste is exceeding 5 metric tons per day. So, such kind of facilities are coming. So, make a application for grant of authorization and prepare and submit annual report before 30th April of the succeeding year to the Commissioner or Director Municipal Administration or designated officer, and to be sent to the Secretary in charge of State Urban Department. So, this has to be follow properly every 30th of April every year. You have to provide one report, annual report to the Commissioner, and Commissioner will sign that and send it to the Urban Development Department. And also the State Pollution Control Board and Pollution Control Committee by 31st May of every year. So, once this report is getting submitted, again there is one report should go to the State Pollution Control Board, okay, or whatever the Pollution Control Board is available because for monitoring purpose. This is the one particular slide. You can see that the framework is prepared by one of the state. This is a state policy, they made it. This is a Karnataka state policy on integrated waste management. So, the state government Karnataka, they adopted policy on integrated solid waste management ISWM in 24 with the objective of development implementation of scientific sustainable method of MSWM. So, that they come up with the primary objective and some of the principle of state policy they included. So, based on this policy, the local authority can prepare the MSWM plan. Okay. Now, the another duties of responsibility of local authorities, like apart from plan, they can come up with the frame bylaws, incorporate the provision of these rules within one law. So, maybe the plans are coming with segregation at household level or thin plastic utilization bag, you want to reject that, or you want to close the thin plastic bags, or one time used bag, you want to close that. So, you come up with the bylaw. By that way you will ask the every residence in the city to follow. Prescribe the user fee, which I had explained from 30 rupees or 40 rupees whatever could be possible. And educate direct waste generator not to litter, to segregate the waste at source and hand over the segregated waste to authorized waste picker. So, time to time you make the awareness events or with the televisions or with the different posters, you can educate the waste generators and frame bylaw and prescribe criteria for levying the spot fines for the person who litter or fail to comply the rules. This also is very important. The spot fines, if you are finding someone are disposing the waste in some open areas or some other area not in the dustbin, so you can ask them to pay the fine. And also the direct street sweeper not to burn the leaf collected from the street sweeping, stored separately and hand over to the proper collectors. And also the providing training on solid waste management to waste picker and waste collectors. So, likewise some organize the events of these events is specially for the solid waste pickers or waste collectors. Okay. Also educate workers including contract workers, supervisor for door to door collection of segregated waste, transporting the unmixing waste during the primary and secondary transportation. So, there also you educate those workers, ensure that the operators of a facility provide personal protection equipment including uniform, the fluorescence jacket, hand gloves, raincoats, appropriate footwears, mask. These ensure by the local authority. And also involve the communities in the waste management, different community like NGO or other special communities are there in the particular city. And promotion of home composting, biogas generation, decentralized processing of waste, you promote that, so that your collection and disposal of such waste should reduce. And facilitate construction, operation, maintenance of solid waste processing facilities such as biomethanation, microbial composting, vermicomposting, anaerodization or any appropriate processing of biostabilization of biodegradable waste, waste to energy also. So, see, even the rule also is saying the same, which I was also sharing to you people, that the first you try that promote the decentralized processing, whether it is a composting, vermicomposting or anaerodization and whatever the possibilities of decentralized treatment processes. And the gated community, here the gated community, I had showed one photograph also. I like some institute like your college campus is a gated community. Means gated community means, I think there are number of households residing in the campus itself. Like in an example of take a example of one institute where the student hostels are there, faculty quarters are there available, non-academic staffs residence also inside the campus. So, that is gated community. So, what is the rule says about gated community? So, all gated community and institutions with a more than 5,000 square meter area. So, remember that any institutes, any academic institutes or any private or government institutes having the area of more than 5,000 square meter area shall within 1 year from the date of notification of this rule and in partnership with the local body ensure segregation of waste at source by the generators as prescribed in the rule, facilitate collection of segregated waste in the separate stream, hand over recyclable material to the either the authorized waste picker or authorized recyclable, and biodegradable waste shall be processed, treated and disposed through composting or biomethanation within the premises as far as possible. So, this is what the one special thought or special rule, special writing you can find it here for the gated community or for institutes like academic institutes also. Now, the schedule 1 is saying under the rule that is for specification of sanitary landfill. So, already in our in one of the module of landfill, I talked about what the landfill shall be for site selection like 100 meter away from the river, 200 meter from pond. Likewise, the criteria has been formulated. And criteria for development of facilities at the sanitary landfill, like landfill site shall be fenced properly, prevent the entry of unauthorized persons, office facility for record keeping, and provisions like way bridges to measure the quantity of waste brought to the landfill site, and utilities such as drinking water or sanitary facility, lighting arrangement should be there onto the landfill sites. So, we should not follow like this, the rule clearly says, and we should have proper sanitary landfill should be there. Now, the criteria for specification of landfilling operations and closure of completion of landfill, criteria of pollution, criteria for air quality monitoring. So, one by one we will see that the waste for landfilling shall be compacted in thin layer. This is some operational criteria is given, and also the landfill cell should be covered at end of each working day with minimum of 10 centimeter of soil, that daily cover, and intermediate cover 45 to 65 centimeter thickness of soil should be placed onto the landfill, and the final cover should have barrier soil layer comprising of 60 centimeter of clay, and where drainage layer should be for 15 centimeter. So, this is what is proposed, and criteria for pollution like storm water drain shall be designated and constructed in such way, so that surface runoff water should not be enter into the landfill area, and also for liner for the landfill should be composite barrier of 1.5 mm thick HDPE liner. So, that is why the most of the cases you will see that the HDPE liners are getting utilized, but it is a thick 1.5 mm, and also the highest level of water table should be at 2 meter below the base of clay or amended soil. So, need to check the properly water table in that particular city. And the criteria for air quality monitoring, for proper monitoring should be there. So, and concentration of methane gas generated in the landfill shall not exceed 25% of the lower explosive limit. Okay. And time to time this ambient air quality at the landfill site at the municipality shall be regularly monitored, and the ambient air quality shall meet the standard prescribed by the Central Pollution Control Board for industrial area. Now, the standards for treated leachate. So, whatever the leachate is getting generated in the landfill site should be treated, and also explain the mode of disposal. The mode of disposal could be the inland water surface, public sewer, or land disposal. So, for that the different standards are provided. See, now you can see that for land disposal lot of parameters are missing here, but for inlet surface water, public sewers, I think you need to have the minimum criteria or maximum criteria should be follow. So, here you can see that apart from solids, like whether it is a suspended or dissolved solids, also the lot of metals had been added like arsenic, mercury, lead, cadmium, chromium, copper, zinc, nickel, cyanide. Likewise, the metals should be very low concentration, and maximum concentration is 0.01. milligram per liter is required. So, it is very difficult to have the proper sanitary landfill, and I already explained that is highly polluted leachate is producing, and you need to treat before disposing to anywhere, whether it is inland surface water, public sewer or onto the land. Now, the schedule 2 explained in the rule for standards of processing and treatment of solid waste. So, standards for composting, like the shall include the composting as one of the technology for processing of biodegradable waste. So, they have to follow the first thing is explained here, like the incoming organic waste at site shall be sorted properly prior to further processing. Okay, and to the extent possible the waste storage area should be covered, and necessary precautions shall be taken to minimize nuisance of odor, flies should be there, and pre-process and post-process rejects shall be removed from the processing facility on regular basis and should not be allowed to pile at the site. Recyclable shall be routed through the appropriate vendors, non-recyclable high calorie fraction to segregate sent to waste to energy plant, and leachate shall be recirculated in compost plant for moisture maintenance. So, this is for the centralized composting facility. Otherwise, I explained that there should not be leachate production in the composting facility. If there is a leachate production, means I think that waste is not under the composting process. And in order to ensure the safe application of compost, the following specification of compost quality shall be named. Like here this rule is explained under the FCO 2009 and FCO 2013. So, FCO is a fertilizer control order, and this rule or these specifications came up from Ministry of Agriculture, because they are the duties to check about the testing of laboratories and the benefits promoting the compost to use for in the farming area. So, the metal concentrations are given here, organic compost. So, like arsenic, cadmium, chromium is a metal concentrations, okay, because I think the very large concentration of metals normally we are finding in the compost. Similarly, the other parameter like carbon to nitrogen ratio should be less than 20, pH should be neutral, moisture 15 to 25%, but you see here when I explain in the composting process, I already explained that in the composting moisture should be 40% to have the live bacteria in the compost, and these bacteria is highly beneficial not only for the soil, but also the plants also. But the rule suggested it should be 15 to 25%. So, in this case it is difficult to allow those bacteria to be in the live condition. But I think why this rule has come up, because there are number of people are generating compost and putting more moisture in the compost. They can measure more weight. They are increasing the weight by adding more water into the compost, and after storage at particular place, this moisture is getting vaporized. So, the weight is getting completely reduced. So, maybe that could be one of the thought. And it should be handled, because the 15-25% this is like is a free flowing material. So, bulk density total nitrogen, you see the 0.8% is very low concentration. So, maybe because it is just for promotions for those industries are producing compost and can easily supply to the farmers by putting the low concentration of nitrogen. But I personally believe that this nitrogen concentration is too low, 0.8%. So, in that case sometimes compost we can't say that is a fertilizer, rather than it is good to say that such kind of compost is a soil conditioner, not like as an fertilizer. Next is the standards for the incinerations. So, the incinerations, the pollutant, the flue gas after treatment, what are the emission standards also given for the particulates HCl, SO2, for HF, some like total organic TOC, total dioxin, furans. This is the new standards come up into the rule now. I think is good now. The whomever is running the waste to energy plants, now they have to follow this rule, and pollution control board will monitor time regularly of emissions from the incinerators. Now we will see that, because we saw the rule, now you understood particularly the rules is suggested, the duties of different stakeholders like generators in the different way, and ULBs and the operators, special rules for the composting facility, special rule for sanitary landfill, special rule for incinerations is provided in the rule. Now, based on the rule, we will see that, because this rule came in 2016, and some cities I tried to find that which cities are implementing these rules, and what benefit these cities are or they benefited these cities by this rule. So, the one study for the Hyderabad, like this place was Jawahar Nagar dumping yard, Telangana. So, this was a PPP projects, the local ULB with the Ramki group is also Hyderabad based company. This is under PPP partnership. So, see that many times I was talking about this PPP. So, our next module I will talk on financing and PPP. So, that you will completely understand what exactly when I am saying PPP. Every time I am grouping two people, one is a public and private company, and showing that is a partnership. So, it was a concession agreement. This agreement also I will explain in the next module what is the meaning of concession agreement. And the idea was that to come up with aerobic degradation process and setting up sanitary landfill. So, the process flow in that particular area was segregated waste collection, transportation properly, and construction of transfer stations only for biodegradable waste, windrow composting by private partner. So, these kind of transfer stations has come up where the windrow composting has been placed, and construction of landfill by private partners. So, this was the before construction was landfill. You can see here the city also, and waste. Now, see here after construction is become a beautiful location, is a closed landfill completely, they capped completely this disposal site. So, landfill was constructed with the geocentric clay liner. Apart from that, HDPE liner, geocomposite liner, and first layer was capped with 1 foot thick soil capping. 4.5 lakhs tons of soil is used for covering the solid waste in first layer, and provided vents at 20 feet underneath the capping to facilitate collection of gases. Now, this case study for Ahmedabad, Gujarat. This is also public private partnership, that is with different companies. So, here the major companies are A to Z infrastructure, and one more that avail on clean energy. Concession agreement is for 30 years, and this model was DBFOT. So, this also I will explain in next module, that PPP what this model is. And task was collection transportation duties were allotted to A to Z in infrastructure company, collection and transportation, and construction of transfer station and central facility for Avalon Clean Energy, providing land and transportation facility for, that is AMC, the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation. Factors led to failure of the project was the no proper lead system implemented as mentioned in the MSW rule 2016, and no proper awareness was created among the people. So, there was no proper segregation. So, is a mixed waste used to get collect, and no proper dumping system and illegal unloading was there, and people were not ready to pay the fee for collection. And sometimes you will not believe that many city residents they do not want to pay 30 rupees in a month also, but Ahmedabad could be, I do not know what exactly was the monthly fee, could be 100 rupees or maybe 200 rupees maximum. The people are not ready to pay. Problem is that people will not accept this is a service, that is the problem. And the informal sector was not given the proper safety measure, that was also another factor which was I think this project was failed because of that. Now, also I thought of, because everyone knows that Indore is the cleanest city of India. So, I come up with few slides onto that, and also the it called as a smart city now. So, here the example of one particular area, there is a Pan City area that was around they called as the ABD area, that was 276 square kilometer, population is 25 lakhs, and project cost was 700 crores per for ICT solution. So, redevelopment area, this the area was 54 acre, project cost rupees 2900 crore under the PPP. So, this was the ABD area. So, main components was the conservation of heritage structure, restoration of cultural heritage, likewise 24/7 water supply, sewerage line, solid waste management was, that was the major components in this task. So, earlier you see here this is the very well known location in the Indore city. Sarafa is a major commercial location, or most of the tourists, if they are visiting Surat, they will go to the Sarafa. So, earlier the photograph you see, and after the Swachh Bharat mission, you will see the Sarafa area. So, earlier this is another one of the most important area is the Rajwada. So, earlier the Rajwada, and now the Rajwada you can see another photograph. So, what are the major roads? This is the earlier scenario. This was the site preparation during the work task. So, the work near the completion, you will see the same area now, and this is the typical section of road showing all the utility services. I think this map is also available online, you can see that. Now, for integrated solid waste management, the objective of ISWM project is to introduce analytical tool for automated decision making to help in effective monitoring of solid waste management operation. So, there was 4 module, like module 1, 2 and 3 and 4 has been proposed for officials and residents. A project will be implemented in 6 months, and the contractor will provide operation maintenance services for 3 years. So, SWM transfer station with portable compactors. So, likewise they come up. So, technology was very simple, cylindrical design prevent corrosion, and hydraulic mounted compactor. See here, cylindrical design, efficiency was very good. Of that, capacity was 16 to 20 cubic meter. So, likewise the technology has been adopted, and also the transfer stations has been constructed, like at Sirpur, Sanver Road, and is a Kabit Khedi. This transfer station has been constructed, and bin free city initiated. In the phase wise manner they started March 2016 to December 2016. Effective door to door reduce garbage on road and open area. Jagirdari Pratha, who was responsible for bring garbage into dustbin, the system was broken. So, this was also one thing, that only the special kind of people they used to work for the solid waste management. So, that is what the Jagirdari Pratha, but now I think they mixed population, they had asked to become a manpower for the solid waste collection facilities. For critical bin location, 3 times movement of door to door garbage vehicle was done on command area of the bin to be removed. So, 3 times movement of door to door garbage wherever is required, is not only once in a day, but 3 times in a day. Also, the municipal staff was appointed on major problematic bin location to check the garbage dumping, like dustbin location, point were cleaned if required. The concreting was done to ensure the clean atmosphere on the spot. In the command area of major dustbin, like NGOs were deployed for public awareness. Spot fines was done aggressively if any person found littering. So, installation of 2000 liter bins in the commercial areas, and also I think one photograph you can see, this is a Bapat square. The earlier was the location, there are number of dustbin was located in that particular square. Now, you see, and it is also written like जगह जगह ना थूके, पिकदान का प्रयोग करे, स्वस्थ रहे. So, you see the same location, how it has been changed. And also door to door collection started in the phase manner from February to November 2016 with the procurement of 425 garbage tippers. So, mayor decided to have door to door garbage collection system for all wards, 5 to 6,000 households in each ward, 4 to 5 garbage tippers were deployed per ward. So, this was the distribution, procurement and distribution of door to door collection vehicles, you can see. Now, the IEC activity, you will see this is the bus stop. So, there also they wrote it like Swachhata Sarvekshan, or number of locations they put up posters or flexes, very big flexes you will see. Now, also you if you visit Indore, you will see the big flexes. This is for awareness of the local people, and also this kind of flexes, they you see is a big flex, you can see, अपने इंदौर को गंदा ना करे, सही चुने, स्वस्थ रहे. So, likewise. Now, few thematic drives also has been organized. You can see here people or local people, they organize different events. In the school also organize different events, and there are number of thematic drives has been run in the entire city. So, this is the one, I think few photograph you can see like spot fines, and so this is one of the news in the newspaper, कचरा फैलाने पर स्कूल से वसूला दंड. So, likewise also spot fines also has been started, and also that municipal bonds also they started, like Indore would be one of the earliest smart city to ensure municipal bond. Different, like the issue size of 250 crore for funding specific projects, bond rating by CARE and Brickworks. Date of issue was June 2017, end of issue. So, you were well aware now this rule. What are the benefits of the rule? So, like these cities, I took only few examples and like two examples was highly successful examples. One was Hyderabad and Indore, but you see that what is happened in Ahmedabad. So, see why these kind of issues has been come up in Ahmedabad kind of city, because you are not working, the pre process need to be there, or need to be understand properly for solid waste management, and then only you go for the further processes. Otherwise, very difficult to simply you are thinking in one day you will start the Swachh Bharat mission is not possible. At the small location you start slowly, segregation, aware the people, and continuously you have to work. Maybe it will take to start the entire city, maybe 2 years, 3 years will be required. It is not that by within a month or within a few days you will start the entire city to get clean. Okay. So, thank you.